This lesson sheet looks at the term hairpin bend. As you can see, the road coming around in this tight curve, it's likened to being a hairpin in shape. And so the terminology hairpin bend. The first syllable is the stronger in emphasis. Hairpin. Hairpin bend. What's taking place at the moment is known as a car rally. The drivers start in staggered times and they have to compete against one another to complete the race. They usually have a driver and a navigator, a person who has a map. They are driving on a sealed surface, we commonly otherwise know as bitumen. Just another noun that's in reference to this little part of the shore here, we can call it a cove, a small inlet. And further to that idea, we talk about the term foreshore, which is defined as the region of the shoreline between the low tide, where the water has receded here, and the high tide mark, probably somewhere around there. So this region all along here is termed the foreshore. A person who records and observes during such a race is also known as an official. The drivers are tenacious, they're working very hard, and they're not giving up, and they're obviously very competitive. So these are adjectives to describe the drivers. Usually there's a driver and somebody with maps who is known as a navigator. The picture also shows a cow, and a way of describing the cow as an adjective, not worried about the events that are going on here. We could say that the cow is not, using the prefix unperturbed. Obviously the drivers, the navigators, are also very alert, very awake. And a quick look at the verbs. If you go around such a tight curve as this, we can say that you are negotiating the curve, negotiating. This car is obviously pursuing, it's following after this car, trying to close the distance. This official is gesturing, using a hand signals. And in relation to this cow, which is unperturbed, it's probably in a feeding mode, and we refer to that as grazing. A quick look at the strong syllables in the words we've just covered. Bitumen, it's the first syllable, bitumen. Foreshore is the strong syllable. Official. Going to the adjective list, it's tenacious. Tenacious. Competitive. Unperturbed. Alert, that's the second part of this word. Negotiating. Negotiating. Pursuing. Gesturing. Grazing. Now we'll have a quick look at the summary section. I shall read it for you. As the car rally ensued, or was going on, or taking place, ensued, a hairpin bend proved to be a racer's challenge. There's more than one racer, so we put the apostrophe outside. Already, some contestants had failed in their negotiation of the bend. Drivers who had left the track had expended, or used up, is what expended means, valuable time. You can see I have coloured valuable as an adjective. Already in the gold yellow colour refers that it is an adverb of a preposition, and I've labelled some of the verbs in green. Ensued, as the car rally took place or was underway, ensued. And I've used this word negotiation, as we did from the verb, to say the maneuver of going around this very tight curve. We can say you are negotiating the curve. Also from the picture you can see skidding, where some drivers who had left the track, we don't know where the cars are at this point, they may be back in the race, had expended. They've used up valuable time trying to get started, etc., to come back into the race. This is an adjectival phrase, who had left the track, going before the verb phrase had expended.